Oops. Right. The beginning of the video is gonna be weird. Sorry. So in another video, I did strumming. We covered strumming. We covered chords. We covered the weird parts of the song. I guess that's kind of what that video was. This is gonna be basically. This is basically gonna be me playing along with the song. I'm gonna do the best I can. Again, it's very, very important to note that in order to play along with this song, you need to follow the voice, and you also need to follow the violins. But it's mainly the voice that you follow. So, I'll explain more after I play the song. But when I play along with the song, I might mess up at some points, but that's just because I can't really hear the song. So I'm playing it on my phone. So let's do it. Sorry if you can't really hear it. Sorry if I can't really hear it. Okay. You should follow along on your own if you want to practice, or if you can't really play it on the guitar yet, you are going to be able to play on the guitar, trust me. Follow along just by looking at your music, okay? It's very important to know which chords come next, so I'm just going to play this song. Sorry. So you saw that I messed up a lot. That's because I couldn't hear the song. It's very important. I can't stress enough how important it is to listen to this song as you're playing, because the people around you, the violins and hopefully the trumpets, they are playing. They are parts and you are a part of essentially a band, a group, and you're coming together to create music, and you rely on each other because each one of you, basically each part, has cues, and it has they're all significant and they all matter to each other because they listen to each other and they listen to each other to know where they are. And in this song, they can't be stressed enough. So listen to the voice. Listen to the voice, because the voice is absolutely important. There's a part in the song, hold on. There's a part in the song that where the voice really matters. It's the part that I mentioned this before in another video. It's it's phrase A, the part that goes. Right? That part relies on the voice. Hold on, let me see if I could. Okay, so, 1 second. Okay, so we stop on A7 on measure 17. So we stop on A7. We don't play D minor. We don't start part A until the singer gives a cue, which the cue is in this part. Basically, as soon as he starts saying amor, that's when the phrase starts. So when he says tengo un amor, and then you stop until you hear the next cue, and the next cue in the song is so the next cue is in the middle of serenos, and it's tengo un amor y los ojos serenos. I'm not a singer, sorry. Basically, the singers can keep giving cues. I'm going to tell you these cues because they're important. Un corazón. Sorry, I didn't hear that one. Beginning of corazón, that's when you play the C7 on a measure 22. Measure 22. That's when you play C7. I don't know that word. I think it's basically the word with N. You get the point. There are cues in the song. Listen to the song and you'll hear the vocal cues, and play along with the song and you'll hear a singer give these cues, and that's when we play. I cannot stress that enough. Please play along with the song because those vocal cues are very important. I mentioned this before. More vocal cues. When you're for example, I mentioned the transition between the first part and part A. You don't start part A until you hear the vocal cue. That's the same thing when you get into part B. Sorry, that was it. So the beginning of the word amas, when the singer sings amas, that's when you start playing D minor. That's when you start phrase B. You have to listen for those cues because that's when everyone starts playing. That's when the violins start playing. That's when the guitars start playing. Luckily, there's a lot of us, so if you do miss the cue, you can catch up, or you can just listen from your fellow guitars or even the violins for the cue, and you'll know when to start playing. Again, the vocal cue is seen again in that part, leading up to I'm sorry, leading up to part C, or there's another vocal cue that starts part C. So stop at A7, which is on measure 47. You stop on A7, you stop until you hear the vocal cue. It's basically Vierno. That's the cue to start playing the... Right? That's the cue. And then the tempo for it, the rhythm, the tempo for the song varies. It gets, there are parts that are slower than the rest that are actually slower. The tempo changes. One part, of course, is part C, which gets faster. So it's important to listen to the violins for the tempo, because it does get faster. Part B is like, right, and then he goes A7 says 4. And then you hear the vocal cue, and then you go. Not sure if that's the actual tempo, but I'll go over again. You can ask me questions. I'll go over this next time we meet. I don't think we're going to be able to. I don't think we're going to need to meet this week, honestly. Vocal cue is also important in on measure 73, I believe. Vocal cue is important there. Basically, wherever you see a chord that's alone and then there's a space next to it, that's when you're going to be listening to vocal cues in order to start up the next part. And this is important at when we first run through the song, and then we go back to the beginning. Before we go back to the beginning, there is a vocal cue. Yeah, I don't know how better to explain this kind of stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, this is awkward now. I think I mentioned everything that I needed to mention. Oh, one last thing. I told you about the adjustments that I made to the actual piece. There's another thing that we're gonna omit, which is the A7 at the ending of the song. We're just gonna get rid of that, and there's gonna be a D, and then we're just gonna play a D. The last chord that we play is a D. So it sounds like... Right. Of course I missed that because I can't hear the song. So practice with the song. Yeah. I missed the stop, so this is awkward now.